So hello students and welcome back to BankExamsToday.com. I hope you are able to watch the stream properly and everything is working properly. So today we are going to actually start the RBI Grade B 2019 booster series, in which we are sharing 5 important questions for RBI Grade B exam, including for phase 2 ESI paper and the phase 1 general awareness paper, right? So let's start with the question number 1. I won't take much of your time, just 5 to 10 minutes. So before starting, we have already we are already doing the RBI Grade B 2019 crash course, in which we are providing video classes, notes, test, MCQs, RBI Grade B GK digest for all the subjects, and we got 24 selections in RBI Grade B 2018 exams. You can call us or WhatsApp us 906720100. That is our mobile number and the WhatsApp number as well. So just install the Bank Exams Today mobile app or go to learn.bankexamstoday.com for a demo. The question number 1. Which of the following has become the... See students, there is a point. Whenever the Reserve Bank of India decrease the repo rate, whenever the RBI makes changes in the repo rate, the banks, they do not make the same changes in the interest rate they pay to the depositors, right? They do not change their rates. These rates are not aligned. So whenever the RBI changes its rates, we wait for the banks. Normally, that's a normal procedure. We wait for the banks that they will follow. They'll make the change in their deposit rates and the lending rate, but sometimes they don't do that. They don't increase the interest rate on saving accounts and the FDRs. Now, which is the first bank that linked this interest rate on saving account to the repo rate of the RBI? Which is the first bank that's in the news as of now? Which is the first bank that that actually link the interest rate on saving account to the repo rate of RBI? So if you know the answer, just tell me, otherwise I will tell you, right? This is the very first question. So the correct answer is State Bank of India anyway. Okay, so the State Bank of India anyway, that's a really easy question, right? But you can see such questions in the exam. State Bank of India, they just linked it. And the second question, the foreign currency swap. See students, what happened? This is a really important topic. The foreign currency swap, this is a new thing. See students, whenever there is a liquidity crunch in the economy, what RBI do? What RBI does? It uses the open market operation. Open market operations. The RBI uses the open market operations. Whenever there is a liquidity crunch, it buys and sells of bonds from the banks, commercial banks. That's how, whenever the RBI buys the bonds from banks, RBI, let's say there is liquidity crunch in the economy, there is lack of Indian rupee in the economy. What RBI is going to do? RBI will buy the bonds from banks and give them rupees, Indian rupee. Indian rupee will go there. The Indian banks, they will get, the commercial banks will have more Indian rupee. There will be, that will solve the liquidity crunch. But RBI has overused this thing, the open market operations. RBI has already purchased around 74% of bonds by using the open market operations from banks. 74% of the bond value, around 2,80,000 crores maybe. So that is a problem. RBI cannot use this option again, the open market operations, because they have overused this open market operation thing. They have already bought like 74%. What they can do now? Even banks, they are not ready to sell the bonds. Why? Because according to the Basel norms, by Jan 2019, the banks, they should have 100% of the deposits as liquidity coverage ratio, which should be high quality assets. What are high quality assets? SLR and even the bonds, they are high quality assets. So they need high quality assets and they don't want to sell off the bonds. I mean, they don't even have the bonds. They're not in position already. RBI has 74% of the bond. So there is no option with the RBI. They cannot do the open market operation. That is why RBI came up with this currency swaps. Now what RBI is doing? What RBI is doing? RBI is buying. RBI is giving Indian rupee to banks and taking US dollars. RBI is buying US dollars and giving them Indian rupees. So if RBI is giving the banks Indian rupees, there will be, the liquidity position will ease. Because if RBI is giving Indian rupee to the banks, obviously the banks can use that money to disburse the loans. So there will be no liquidity crunch, right? This is a new tool that RBI is using. Okay, but there is a catch. After 3 years, the banks are promising that they will buy back the US dollars. Right now, RBI is buying the US dollars with the promise that after 3 years, the banks, they are going to buy back these US dollars. But as of now, the liquidity position will ease, right? Because there will be a good amount of money in the market. Now, how much money is that? That thing is in the news. Please give me the answer. That thing is in the news. It's actually how much it is. I mean, amount is not that important, but this concept is actually really important to understand. So the correct answer is $5 billion. So that is the correct answer. $5 billion. So RBI, it is going to infuse it. RBI is going to buy $5 billion on 26th of March. Okay, mostly from banks via auction. Now the question number 3, market regulator withdrew 20%. See students, there was a limit. For example, there is Kajaria Cement. Nosil is a good. Nosil, it is pharmaceutical company, right? Let's say it releases 500 crore corporate bonds, 500 crore corporate bonds. Till now, there was a limit that, I mean, let me give you the answer, that a foreign portfolio investor, they can buy at max 20% of these bonds. They can at max buy 100 crore. After 100 crore, they cannot buy. But now SEBI has withdrew this limit from foreign portfolio investors. Now there is no such limit. Okay, now there is no such limit. There used to be a limit of 20% because of liquidity crunch. In the 2018, the market was like not stable. The markets went down. And the foreign portfolio investors and the FDIs, they took their money back. So what SEBI wanted at that particular point of time, they wanted more foreign investment, and this thing was limiting the foreign investment. So now there is no such limit, no limit of 20%. Okay. Which of the following statement is true considering the relaxed norm for white labeled ATMs? See, I hope students, if you are watching my lectures closely, I hope you are aware about the fact white label ATMs. These are not actually banks. These are independent or independent organization which are running the ATMs, right? Recently, according to a notification, according to that notification, now the white labeled ATMs, they can source cash from any bank. Let it be a rural bank, rural RRB, let it be like any NBFC, let it be any bank. They can, from any bank, actually, that's in the notification. They can source cash from any bank. That's the very first point of the notification. And the second point, what was the second point? They can release a co-branded debit card. They can release a co-branded debit card. For example, I mean, I am not really aware about the companies of white labeled ATM card, because these are not popular as of now. But now they can release a co-branded debit card by using the in a debit card there will be name of, let's say, I mean, you might have used HDFC Indian Oil card, so there will be HDFC or bank's name, and then there will be the company behind the white label ATM. So they can use a co-branded debit card and they can source the money from cash from any bank. Now let's move on to the options. Which of the following statements are true? White label ATM cannot source, but yes, they can source. So this is false. So operators are allowed to issue co-branded ATM cards. So this one is true. So this is the answer. Let's move on to the next one. The operators can provide bill payment services which is subject to certification of RBI. That is false. It is NPCI. So RBI is not providing the certification for bill payment services. NPCI is there. The operator cannot display the advertisement. That's false. Operators can display the advertisement, and there are advertisements. I don't remember the name of that white label ATM, but I have personally seen the advertisements in those white label ATM. Let it be non-banking products or whatever, they can do the advertisement. So B is the correct answer. So let's move on to the question number 5. So if there is any doubt till now, you can ask your doubts in the comment section. Okay. How to memorize the current affairs? Watch my sessions every day. I'll provide the 5 important questions. So I think 5 questions a day, that is the best strategy. And if you are able to understand whatever I'm teaching, that's enough. So let's move on to the question number 5, right? Now it's your turn to answer. Reserve Bank of India decided to make legal entity identifier LEI code mandatory for all market participants regulated by central bank. How many digits this code have? Let's move on to the explanation first. See students, what is LEI? What is LEI? LEI is legal identity identifier. Legal identity, I mean, they are providing a kind of identity number, international identity number. For example, there is PAN. You might be having PAN. You have a ID, right? FRAC or whatever. You have an ID. Every individual is having an ID. So if you are doing certain transactions which are regulated by RBI, you need to get a legal entity identifier, which is a 20 character identifier that identifies distinct legal entities that engage in financial transactions. Right? Individuals, they do not need to get. Individual is not required to get an LEI, right? Only it identifies the distinct legal entity. For example, the companies, they need to get the LEI. So it is defined by ISO 17442 and it is a global standard. Not only in India, there are 630,000 legal entities all around the world in 195 countries. It is not just about India. It is a global standard. Companies from US, UK, I mean everybody is taking LEI, right? Legal entity identifier. The RBI is going to mention a cutoff date after which you won't be these companies won't be able to do the financial transaction without LEI. It would be similar to PAN, but in case of global scenario. Why it is required? First of all, to serve a proof of identity for financial entities. So this is most important, and help to abide the regulatory requirements of RBI and international organization, and it facilitates the transaction reporting to trade repository. So this one is important. So proof of identity in case of any hacking or theft or whatever, this is a go-to thing. So this thing uniquely, the LEI is going to uniquely identify the every legal entity, right? So LEI will assign, LEI would be assigned to legal entities including but not limited to intermediary institutions, banks, mutual funds, partnership companies, trust, hold, special purpose vehicles, asset management companies, all the AMCs, mutual fund, banks, they need to get LEI. Right, and there is legal entity identifier India Limited. This company would actually provide the LEI to the legal entity identifier numbers to all the legal entities such as companies, private limited companies, mutual fund, AMC, banks, trust, everybody, right? But in case of individuals, it is not required, right? So I think that's all. I think so it is a 20-digit number. C is the answer. मैंने खुद ही बता दिया वैसे. So it is a 20-digit number. This is actually, yes, this is the first session. Students are asking, this is the first session. Yes, I actually, for sure we will release RBI Grade B 2019 test series very soon. So thanks for watching, students. You can call us 906720100. Raman at the rate of Bank Exams Today. That is my mobile number. And please install the Bank Exams Today mobile application if you want the regular updates or whatever we are doing. The PPT of this lecture, I'm going to share this on my Telegram channel. The name of the Telegram channel is Bank Exams Today. Okay, so I have already gave my number, and that's all that we are going to provide. You can take the demo as well. So that's all for today, students. Thank you and have a very nice day. Please subscribe the channel and like this video. That's really important for me. Thank you, students, and have a very nice day.